For the moment, shifting focus to a big breaking news coming in. Zubair gets bail, and that's the big breaking news coming in. The Supreme Court has now granted bail to Mohammed Zubair, says we order petitioner be released on interim bail in each of the FIRs. Now, Zubair had sought relief from the top court, sought quashing of FIRs in the case, and this is what the SC order says, and I quote, Delhi police has submitted a detailed status report pertaining to the probe. It's clear from records detailed probe being carried out by is being carried out beyond the gamut of tweets. Grant of bail by Patiala House court has not secured the personal liberty. In the proceeding of Sitapur, he was granted interim bail. It was further extended. Narration of facts discloses first by Patiala House court and later by this court still leaves the petitioner embroiled in a series of proceedings where he is either in custody or in remand. He's subjected to sustained probe already. So that's the big breaking news coming in from the top court. And we are also being told that the dictation still continues though, but this is the big relief that Mohammed Zubair gets, because remember, there were multiple FIRs filed against him from multiple states. Madhav also continues to get us more details on the same. Madhav, a big relief coming in for Zubair at the moment. What more can you tell us?
Well, yes, that is the information coming in at this point of time, that it's a massive relief for Mohammed Zubair, with the Supreme Court having ordered that he be released. In fact, saying that there is absolutely no justification to keep the petitioner in continued custody. The Supreme Court has ordered that the petitioner be released on interim bail in each of the FIRs that have been filed by the UP police. Also saying that the existence of the power of arrest must be pursued sparingly. Very, very strong words that are coming in from the apex court. Remember that the court has been hearing this entire matter. We had seen the AAG earlier argue that it's because of the fact that several of the posts that had gone viral, rather than informing authorities, had in fact put out posts which had led to violence on ground, and that is why the police and the authorities had a right to take action on Mohammed Zubair. But be that as it may, the fact is that the court has taken cognizance of that and has granted bail to Mohammed Zubair at this point of time. So relief coming in from Mohammed Zubair after several weeks. This time it is of course coming in from the apex court, which has been hearing this matter for the past few days, and now of course has decided to grant Mohammed Zubair bail.
Madhav, we also get a sense that the court had pretty much set the stone when it recently took up the case, wherein the court said that we direct no precipitate steps shall be taken against the petitioner in connection with any of the 5 FIRs in Uttar Pradesh without the leave of this court. So pretty much setting the tone for this particular order also coming in today.
Oh yes, that was the statement that had come in from the apex court when it was initially hearing this statement or hearing this matter about 2 days ago, as you rightly put it. And it had, in fact, at that point of time said that it is for the UP police to ensure that the matter, that no precipitate action is taken as far as Zubair is concerned. Now, of course, the court, having heard what the government has to say through the AAG, has decided that he be granted bail, and of course saying that the provision of arrest must be used sparingly, saying that there is no justification for Zubair to continue in jail. Very, very strong words there coming in from the apex court. We will have to see, of course, what the reaction is from the UP government and the UP police, which have been pursuing these various cases in different parts of the state, from Hathras to Lakhimpur Kheri and Sitapur, different parts of the state that different FIRs have been filed. And now, of course, with this order coming in, also response to the UP government will be very important to watch out for. Absolutely.
Well, he did also seek quashing of the FIRs, and we're also picking up that as far as quashing of FIRs is concerned, the court has said that fairness to petitioner would require that all FIRs be clubbed and handled by one investigating authority. So that's another bit of news coming in. Let me go across to NCP's Majid Memon joining us on the phone line. Mr. Memon, what do you make of this big relief being granted by the top court to Mohammed Zubair?
Well, on merits, the Honorable Supreme Court did realize that this kind of persecution of an Indian citizen by filing multiple FIRs at different places for same alleged offence, must be discouraged. Because you see, any criminal prosecution is not to harass somebody or to cause physical, mental and financial burden on them. It is for the purposes of securing justice as far as the commission of crime is concerned. So it is only ultimately that if an accused is found guilty, that the punishment lawfully can be imposed upon him. Causing problems by filing various FIRs at different places,
yes,
and it is a kind of torture.
But 2 days ago, Mr. Memon, the court even then said that, the fact that so many FIRs are being filed against him in several states is something that they find extremely problematic. Thank you for joining us with that perspective. Let me go across to Harish, our legal editor, joining us with more details. Harish, for the moment, interim relief for Mohammed Zubair, who's been granted bail by the top court in each of the FIRs.
This is a huge relief for Zubair, as the Supreme Court has granted him interim bail in each of the FIRs, which means that he will be released from jail forthwith. And the Supreme Court has also, in another significant order, disbanded UP SIT, which was FIRs against him, because all these FIRs have also FIRs registered against him have been clubbed and transferred to the FIR, which Delhi Delhi police is already probing. The Supreme Court very clearly remarked that narration of fact discloses first the Patiala House court and later by this court still leaves the petitioner embroiled in a series of proceedings where he is either in custody or remand period pending. He is subjected to sustained probe already. Therefore, there is no requirement of his custodial interrogation. Absolutely no justification to keep the petitioner in continued custody. Existence of power of arrest must be pursued sparingly. UP SIT disbanded. So these are the biggest takeaways.
Yes.
Number one, Zubair has been granted interim bail in 6 FIRs lodged in UP. All the FIRs against him have been clubbed and been transferred to Delhi Special Cell for the probe, and the UP SIT created to probe him have been disbanded. Very, very significant development from the Supreme Court as far as Zubair is concerned.
All right. Harish, stay on with us. Let me quickly take in another legal perspective. We have Swapnil Kothari also joining us on the phone line. Mr. Kothari, what do you make of this big relief coming in for Mohammed Zubair? The top court says it sees no merit in seeing that there are multiple FIRs being filed in multiple cases, and at the moment he's been granted bail, interim bail that has been granted to Mohammed Zubair, and all the FIRs will be now clubbed and a single investigating agency will be looking at the case.
Well, I think that's fair and square, and bail being the norm and jail being the exception, with multiple FIRs being filed, the investigation shall continue unimpeded, and hopefully, they would have secured some sort of a bond, a bail bond with some certain stringent conditions, which they normally do in these kind of cases, that he will not, leave the country without the permission of the court. His passport must have been impounded. He will report to the local police station, and he will cooperate with the authorities, and he will not destroy any evidence. So I think with those 3-4 conditions down there in the bail bond, I think, you cannot sort of take away the liberty of a person beyond what is reasonable time, and the prosecution has not been able to justify his custody beyond the further period that they already had it, and that's the reason why this top court has granted him bail. And obviously bail does not mean that he's absolved of any crimes that have been made in the charge sheet against him. But it just clearly shows that the Supreme Court...
Yes, and that said, the court said in as many words, Mr. Swapnil Kothari, that there is absolutely no justification to keeping the petitioner in continued custody. So those are the words coming in from the top court. Thank you for getting us that perspective. Slipping into a very short break here, viewers. That remains our top focus. We'll be just back in 2 minutes with all the top stories.